How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today's video, I am going to go take my first drive since installing the new suspension parts. But first off, I do need to go get this thing aligned, and that's what I'm going to be doing first thing in the morning. And then I'm going to be probably working the rest of the day. And then after that, I might go take the car out, drive it around. But I got an appointment for an alignment at 8 a.m. and I'm going to go ahead and get that all settled out. I know the front is really bad just because I did replace the struts. And I will throw up a clip right now of what is going on because the dust shield is actually hitting the strut whenever I'm turning the wheels. As you can see, it's not really too bad, but I can't really drive on it, and I'm just hoping that this alignment will fix this issue, which it should, because the struts did get moved since I was taking them out and replacing them and everything. Other than that, I guess I'll see you guys in the morning. Okay, so I'm now on the way to the alignment shop. This thing is creaking like crazy. So luckily the shop isn't too far away. Hopefully it fixes the strut issue, and I guess I'll pick this thing back up after the alignment's done. All right, so got the fresh alignment and got everything on the car. So now the only thing to do is go ahead and go drive it around and test everything out, see how it feels. And it will be the first time I did drive the car with alignment in a while, because the last time it was aligned was before it was lowered. So let's go test everything out and see how it feels. This thing is just so filthy. I think when I get back, even though you can't really tell, but I'm gonna have to give it a little bath. It's just got so much stuff on it from where I've been working on it, and obviously where it's got a little bit of pollen. But I'm gonna go ahead and hop in here and I guess get this thing started up. Alright, so I'm not gonna lie, I have driven it around a little bit since I have got alignment, so everything seems good. And I actually got a funny story about everything. I am so white right now. Let's see. I don't know. I've actually got a funny story I will be telling you about, like the alignment and everything. Alright, so before we do hop into the rest of the video, the driving portion, I do want to go ahead and say I think there's like 95% of you that aren't even actually subscribed. So if you could, it would help me out a ton. I am about to start getting monetized, so I will be able to be making money, and everything would also go right back into the channel. Plus, I don't even know if you guys can actually see, but if you can see me in the mirror, that's what I look like right now. So I kind of look like an idiot. So if you guys could just leave a like and everything, it really would help me out a ton. So going into the whole alignment stuff, obviously I think I told you that I had alignment scheduled for 8 a.m. and whenever I showed up at 8 a.m. he's like, well, the alignment guy just called and he ain't gonna be in until about 12. And I was like, oh, okay, well, let me work around my schedule that I can fit y'all's needs and everything. So obviously I just scheduled it for later in the day. I did for 3, and then whenever I showed up at 3, then I sit there for a little bit, and it kind of takes a while before they even actually go get my car. And after they did get my car, getting aligned for about like an hour and a half, that's how long it was on the lift for. And I mean, obviously I understand, because like it's not every day you do a lowered car that's like has adjustable cast camera plates and everything. So I can understand trying to get used to that stuff, but still an hour and a half to do an alignment is still kind of extreme. And then on top of that, after he pulls me in there and he actually tells me that there's not enough adjustment, which that's really the whole point, is that you're supposed to have adjustment with the new cast camera plates. So I was just telling him, like, obviously I just put these things on, and that's the whole point of them, is that they should have enough adjustment. But I mean, it's pretty close on both sides. It's not like perfect, I guess, but I mean, it's enough. I mean, I think it's a little bit better than what it was before, whenever I didn't have the cast camera plates on. And then on top of that, I think I did show you guys earlier in the video, the dust boot, you could see that it was kind of rubbing against the strut a little bit. And I was asking if that would be able to be fixed with the alignment, because I really just had no idea if it would or not. and it fixed it a little bit because I don't hear the rubbing up there anymore. I do slightly if like that side's just really compressed and I'm like at full like wheel lock, then I'll slightly hear the rubbing, but I mean, I don't really hear it that much anymore. And he told me like if I really wanted to, I could obviously take the dust shut off and go back up there, which I mean, that's always in the back of my mind, but he wouldn't charge me for the extra alignment or anything. But I was thinking about that, but then I also just didn't want to take it all apart. And I mean, honestly, I mean, I'd rather run them even if they are not all the way flush. But I mean, if something did happen, I mean, they'll just end up like cracking or something. So, I mean, eventually they'll just either fall off or I'll take them off or something. If something ever did happen, I think they're fine now, especially after I keep driving the car and put some more miles on it. I think it'll kind of settle a little bit more. But you can see, like, I'm not touching the steering wheel. It's actually going straight. I mean, I'm slightly going to the left now because of the road. But it's been so long since this car has been able to do that. I still need a bump steer kit, which I was going to do, and then I was going to get the alignment, but I just never ended up doing it. But overall, I am happy with everything so far. I mean, the car doesn't really feel that much smoother. I mean, it kind of does if I'm going over like a bump. If I'll feel like it is a lot, I guess, more forgiving. But it's also weird because I also feel like I have a little bit more like ability to turn in to like a corner or something, which I mean, I don't know, it's not that much different over stock. I mean, they're cheap conies that are like the entry level, I guess, performance shock and strut kit. So I mean, it's not like it's anything like really special. And I mean, the main reason I was getting those is because, well, one, they were cheap, and another reason is just because if I did go to a coilover setup, which would most likely be Maximum Motorsports, which those conies, they will fit the coilover setup. So that's kind of one of the reasons I went to that orange. I was going to do adjustable, but I mean, I didn't really want to do it at that time. And I didn't want to spend like double the price. If not, I think it might be like close to $1,000 or something. Feels so good to drive my car again. It's been so long. Not really, it's only been 2 weeks, but I guarantee everybody that's watching this video, I guarantee you know what I mean whenever you don't drive your car for a little bit and it just feels good, just hop back in it. But going back to the alignment stuff, after he had aligned it and got off the lift and everything, he drove it up the road, and then whenever he came back, which I mean, he was going for a good bit, but he came back, and then my steering wheel, like, I can't really show you that good, but it was more so like kind of to the side. He didn't notice it. He was trying to tell me that this line doesn't line up center of the airbag, which I mean, it might slightly be off, but like, I never noticed it, and I'm pretty picky. So the fact that he would have noticed something like that, I don't think it was halfway. He just realized he didn't align the steering wheel properly, and he was just really wanting to, I guess, go home for the rest of the day. Because I mean, by then, not getting my car off the lift until like 4:30, 4:40, which is a long time, I feel like, even if you're not used to adjustments and everything. And once I drove up the road, then that's whenever I noticed the steering wheel was out of line. Went back down there. He told me to go out towards like a straighter road that was a little bit further away. I did, and it was still off, so I went back down there, and you could tell he was kind of frustrated, mainly because I mean, he realized, I guess, he messed up, but it ended up getting solved and everything's fixed now. He was a really super cool dude though. I mean, he was talking to me the whole time, and I mean, he seemed like he was all right. It's just, he just made that one mess up where he had the steering wheel a little bit bad. But alignment is overall 10 times better than what it was before that car was in my lane. So I mean, I can't really complain. Hopefully my tires should last longer in the front now. Hopefully. I know last time they popped and I just replaced them. So far though, I do feel like it is a little bit smoother, but not noticeable. It is still a new edge, but it does make me happy that I have newer suspension parts under there instead of the factory ones. Because I mean, these cars are made 20 some years ago. I mean, stuff needs to be replaced. It's kind of why I'm trying to do a slight suspension overhaul this year before I either boost this thing, which would most likely happen. Obviously, I would want to do boost as kind of like a, I don't know how to explain it, just a little filler before I really do a coyote swap, if I find a good enough deal on a supercharger. I mean, I'm probably not going to buy one brand new, because I mean, to do that, buy a blower brand new nowadays, I mean, you could literally buy a coyote engine and like some of the swap parts, which is just insane. Like, I feel like you got to be crazy to boost a 2-valve whenever you can spend an extra 5 to 7 grand and you'd have a coyote swap with a way better capability of power and everything. Really don't know where I'm going. I kind of just hopped out here and I've been talking and I ain't really paying attention. Kind of just having a destination of nowhere. It's Friday and I'm off work, so just going out for a little cruise. Trying to really get these things broke in some, because I think it's like close to 100 miles until they're fully broke in, as I'm kind of so slinging around the curve. I've probably put close to 100 miles on it by now. I really need to get rid of these cats, because man, this thing, it sounds good, but it sounds so much better. I've still yet to throw this thing around the curve though, because I mean, it claims improved handling, but I don't know how much it's going to do that. I can't believe I was thinking about selling this thing, dude. Like, every time I sit there and think about it, I have to go back and look at like new edge builds that kind of inspired me. Whenever I look at other stuff, dude, I mean, it just inspires me just to keep it. And there's still so much stuff I can do to this thing. That's just, I just really want something that was kind of new and I guess a little more reliable and practical for me. But the more and more I thought about it too, is like, I really want to continue to daily drive a Mustang, and I could get by with keeping this, and then I could always buy like a cheaper truck or something instead of getting an S550, and then I could later on get another car to add on top of this for like the content and stuff. I mean, who knows, I could maybe make some truck content too. I mean, that wouldn't be anything special, because my idea of like a really nice truck is just depending on what wheels obviously come on it, but it would just be like either a leveling kit or a very, very subtle lift with nice tires on some stocks, and then maybe like headlights and subs. But I mean, after that I'd pretty much be done. Like, kind of what I've been looking at, just because they are kind of cheaper, 2009 I think, or 2010, I can't remember whenever they started, but 2014, the F-150 Platinums. What is that with everybody just like swerving at me today? But I was looking at those because some of those come with the Coyotes, they come with EcoBoost also. But I mean, I think those are nice trucks. Yeah, they're 10 years old, but I mean, it's still a newer truck that would be a decent daily for me. And obviously it's a Platinum, so it'd be nice. I would prefer to have brown or red interior, whatever color comes in those. But obviously those are gonna be hard to find. So I mean, if I end up with black, man, that's not the worst deal. The main reason is because if something ever did happen to this thing, where I'm stranded, I could always go rent a trailer or borrow a trailer from somebody, and I could hook it up to the truck and I could take it to the shop or whatever I needed to do. Obviously it wouldn't be like a tow rig, because I mean, I don't need to trailer this car anywhere. It's nothing that special. But if I was ever in that situation, obviously that's where it'd be coming handy. We'll get some windows down action though. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it feels slightly better, like, because this road is a little rough right here. But I mean, it's not like I wouldn't tell you to go spend your money on it like it's that great of a deal. I mean, if your shocks and struts are fine, I mean, obviously keep them. But I thought I was having an issue with the right strut, and I still never even checked it whenever I took it out. I kind of just was already over it, because that was the last side I did, and I was just wanting to get it done. Oh, I just wish this thing didn't have cats, dude. Meow. What am I doing? doesn't help that I have super stiff springs. That's probably halfway why I can't tell a difference too. It's just because, I mean, I have the iBox core lines, which I think is like some of the stiffest springs you can get. So that obviously makes it a little bit rougher of a ride. I'm sure if I had some like H&R Super Sports or something, I'm sure it'd be a little bit comfier, but it's not too bad at the end of the day. It's just whenever you're taking long trips, it's kind of gets bad within that 3 hour plus mark. Alright, so I did get the car all cleaned up, and I didn't really go too crazy just because I am fully expecting for me to be able to clean this again before the next weekend or whenever the show is that I was talking about earlier. I am currently in the process of putting the trunk back together. I still haven't done that. I'm pretty much done. I was looking for these pieces forever to go right here, and I couldn't find them. I've probably been looking for them for about 30 minutes, and turns out they're in the cabinet. So that's always good, but obviously I just got to put these back and this piece with all these screws, and then I will be able to put my trunk flooring back in, and I guess we'll be pretty much back to normal. I mean, everything feels good with the shocks and the struts so far. I hope it stays that way. And I'm pretty close to, I guess, having them fully broke in by now. It's back to normal now. I haven't really seen it like this in a minute, just because every time I've opened my trunk, it's kind of been gutted. But it looks pretty good. I didn't clean back here. I mean, I don't really throw anything back here, but yeah. I will probably go for a cruise tomorrow, so that is why I am trying to clean up a little bit, just because it was really dirty. But if you did like this video, make sure to leave a thumbs up, subscribe, comment, do all that good stuff, and I guess I'll catch you guys next time.